Hey everybody, welcome back to Brozuka Arms. Sorry it's taken so long to get some more content out to you guys, but with the pandemic, I mean the completely legitimate virus going on, things have been a little more tough on us this past year, but we've gotten through it. We're back here with you guys to make sure that we can get more content to you and bring you some more updated information about some of the stuff that's been going on in the tactical industry. So today is the official retirement of my M&P 2.0 Poseidon Commander from Floyds Custom Shop. This guy right here, I am officially retiring this guy after this video. And he was replaced by something else from Floyds Custom. I love that company. I really love the work they do, how aggressive the slide and designs are, the integral porting that they do to the barrel to really make this thing just an absolute pleasure to shoot. Really easy to keep it nice and flat. Very small amount of felt recoil impulse. I love it. It's been my go-to for a couple of years now, and this particular one right here has about 20,000 rounds through it, and I have never once had a malfunction, never a failure to feed, never a failure to fire, never a failure to extract. This has just been an absolute champion. And the reason I like the integral porting so much and the overall design is these aggressive serrations right here at the front make it very easy to press check. So go ahead and visually and manually inspect that. There's nothing in there. So those serrations make it extremely easy to press check. And overall, it looks extremely aggressive. I like how you can, with the lightning cuts that they put in there, you can see the barrel. So if you wanted to run a different barrel with a different coating on there, then you really get to show that off and showcase it. So this has been a beast, and I wanted to strike a perfect balance between something that can hold its own in a competition, as well as have the reliability and controllability for a duty pistol. And this has been that for me. Now, what I'm replacing it with is the Kraken Commander from Floyds Custom. This is a new design they've put out, and it's infinitely more aggressive than the other one was. So if you're running a titanium nitride barrel, you really get to show it off with this. You're reducing a little bit of that weight, which helps, especially since you're running a compensator or a ported barrel, whatever you want to call it. And you can see that he even added a more aggressive porting on the side of the barrel. I went ahead and had him put his symbol on there because I thought it would be really nice to just kind of showcase Floyds Custom's work, and for people to know when they look at this that it came from him. Some of the stuff we're going to be going over in this video is the really fine, minute breakdown of that design and how aggressive it really looks. We're going to get some extreme close-up shots of it and show you just how mean it looks up close in person and the type of coatings that they did to it. We're also going to talk about a new prototype that Floyds Custom is working on right now with their barrels. It's a prototype design that they're doing to eliminate some of that spalling or shavings that you get from an integrally ported barrel. Sometimes when the bullet passes by those ports, some of the jacket is being shaved off and can hit the people to the side of you. It can hit you if you're shooting from retention right here. Even if you have eye pro on, we've had some of that stuff get up underneath our eye, and it's pretty scary. So you got to look down like this if you want to shoot like that and protect your eyes. So he's been working on this for a while. He sent me a prototype, and we're going to illustrate just how much of an improvement over the original barrel and porting design you're going to get in terms of all of those little particles being blasted out of the ports. We're also going to do some velocity testing, comparing the difference between that prototype barrel and the existing barrels that he works on, and then we'll be getting to showing the actual accuracy between the prototype barrel and the stock barrels that he works on. I'd also like to explain to a lot of people some common misconceptions about barrels and barrel length, because overall barrel length and how much stabilization you're getting from the rifling actually varies. So they might be telling you you're getting a 5-inch barrel, but you're not getting 5 inches of stabilization. So like I said, we're going to go into the fine detail of this design and the offerings that he has. So this is the Kraken. The slide design is the Kraken. That is the design. The porting is called the Commander. So if you wanted just the Commander and you wanted him to leave the rest of your stock slide the way it looked, he can do that. If you really want a minimalist setup, but you still want the benefits of having the ports in the barrel, you can do that. Or you can get a design only without the porting, or you can get them both together. You do get additional discounts by stacking a lot of this stuff together. And also, if you wanted an optic cut for your M&P 2.0 with the loaded chamber indicator, or any of the other M&Ps, they can do that as well, and it's pretty cheap. So if you include your iron sights with your slide and everything, if you know what iron sights that you want to get, you can ship those with the slide and barrel to him, and he'll install them for you, and you don't have to deal with that yourself, trying to hammer them in. So it's an awesome offering. I've seen several of the companies get into the M&P game lately, but I still think that Floyds Custom is top tier. I don't really see any other ones that have put out more aggressive designs, more functional designs, or a more functional porting. A lot of people have run external compensators. I tried running that on a slide that I had sent off to Floyd, but I really just didn't like having that external comp. It stuck out too far, and when I was trying to run that from concealed, well, that compensator, that external comp, heats up and it'll start burning your leg, whether you're carrying it 3 o'clock or appendix. You don't really want to have that heat exposed outside of your, let's say, sidecar, because it will come out to about right here. So I thought the integral porting was really the way to go. It's extremely aggressive. I think it looks super futuristic, and again, a lot of people really want those titanium nitride or titanium carbonitride barrels, and this really gives you the opportunity to showcase it, show it off, and I mean, you got it a different color for a reason. Why not show it? So this is the very first barrel that I ever sent off to Floyds Custom. I saw that he had done a little bit of fluting for another person, and I said, hey, why don't I get that? He didn't charge an arm and a leg for it. Goes all the way around. And I like how, since on the bottom side there's no porting right there, he did that one flute a little bit longer. It extends a bit further than the other ones do. And in my opinion, I think it looks really industrial, and that's why I like it. He can make these a little bit more narrow if you wanted him to, but he doesn't want to go too deep into the material, because he wants this to be able to withstand great amounts of heat and to last you as long as it should from the factory. So here's showcasing that. This is the original barrel. This one has around 20,000 rounds through it, and it is still ridiculously accurate. I have seen no decrease in accuracy throughout the life of this. The next barrel I'd like to show you is Squid, my cameraman, his barrel that he has in his Poseidon Commander. And we had this sent off to get a titanium carbonitride coating on there, and it has held up extremely well. We have taken wire brushes to this thing to clean off some of the carbon buildup, and none of that has pulled any of the coating off of it, or treatment, because ultimately it is treating the metal. And both of these barrels have aftermarket crowning that Floyd's did. It was something that I thought just looked absolutely amazing. I had to have it. And what the crowning does is going to create a more even exit of the barrel for the projectile, giving you a little bit more accuracy, just to give you an edge. Now, the third barrel is the prototype. And I'm gonna throw some pictures and videos of this on the screen, but what he has done to create this as a prototype is he has backbored the barrel. So he has taken the rifling back to just before the porting. Now, what that does is creates a greater diameter inside the barrel, meaning that the bullet is not going to shave up against the porting. And this is supposed to completely eliminate having all those shavings come up and hit you and hit the people beside you, because that can get pretty frustrating, and depending on the angle, it can get behind somebody's eye protection, and that's not something you want to deal with. All right, now for the common misconception of saying that you're getting a certain barrel length means that's how much stabilization you are getting in the barrel is not true. So I've taken my calipers, digital calipers, to about 7 different M&P barrels, different sizes, compact, so the 4-inch to the 4.25 to the 5-inch. There is 0.6 of an inch of headspace. That is how much you're getting from right here all the way until the rifling. Now, the barrels are measured from the absolute tip of the bore all the way to the far end of the barrel hood, right here. So just keep that in mind. When you think that you're getting so many inches of stabilization, you're not. All right, so it's time to showcase the accuracy of both of these barrels. Right now we're gonna put a few shots on target, center mass, just to gauge the accuracy of the original barrel with the red dot on there right now. So let's get started. Okay, so this was just a function and accuracy test. Wanted to do it center mass just to gauge everything, get a baseline. So now I'm going to create some other little dots. The left side is going to be the stock barrel with the original porting. And on the other side, we're going to do the prototype barrel with the back boring and see where those rounds are hitting from one to the next. All right, so that's the first one. Gonna move down to the second dot, 5 on that one as well. All right, so this is the prototype barrel. We're gonna go ahead and swap it and test the accuracy on this one. You can see this is the one that does not have the rifling towards the end of the barrel. And there also is no etching on it. I'm gonna go ahead and swap the barrel on camera so you guys can see this visually and manually inspect. There's nothing in there, there's no mag in there.
Slippery.
All right, so we're moving to the 2 dots on the right-hand side of that target. All right, 5 shots on the top one, moving down to the bottom dot. Do 5 shots on that one as well. All right, so a couple of those, I felt myself shaking a little bit, but the point of impact shift is going to be mostly in part to putting a completely different barrel in there. There's always going to be some kind of point of impact shift switching barrels. All right, so if we're looking at these groups, these are both extremely tight, really nice groups. Over here, we had a point of impact shift high and left. So that's still a really good group. That was the very first shot, I do believe. Came down here, I was shaking a little bit, but we still had that exact same pattern moving high and left. I pulled a couple of those, but I think this is a better representation of the kind of accuracy you can expect to get. And the back bore is, I think, 82 hundredths of an inch. So over 3/4 of an inch that you're losing. So essentially, you're running a 4.25 barrel. So we were standing back at 12 yards with all these groups, even the one just function checking it, using 115 grain, just standard 9mm ammo, nothing fancy. Since you're essentially running almost an inch less of rifling, I think that's extremely acceptable. Even though it's in a vise, I was still shaking a little bit, but I mean, that's still a really good grouping right here. We got those last two shots touching. So overall, I don't think you're going to see much of a decrease in accuracy if you go ahead and get that from him. And now it's time to see how much shrapnel we can eliminate. All right, so now we're going to get a really scientific, very in-depth, and extremely complicated test of how much shrapnel is being expelled, how many shavings are actually coming out of the barrel ports. So here we are. Extremely scientific. All right, so we have the original, the prototype barrel in first, because if it's not spitting out any shrapnel, well, then we want to be able to showcase that for the original barrel. Gonna go ahead and swap the barrels out and see what kind of shavings and spalling we get from the original barrel I sent in.
Nice and oiled up.
All right. Original barrel. All right, so just like we thought, we had some very violent shrapnel come out of the barrel. So let me go ahead, unload, show clear, nothing in there. Holster, let's go ahead and take a look. So some of the pieces actually came through the cardboard. Wow. On the top too.
I think the top is the worst because
Yeah, it looked like it.
the first barrel didn't put a single hole in any paper.
Yep.
This is
Now let's look at this side. Yeah, we got holes right here, pretty much all over the place. And some of these went through the cardboard as well. So we have some exit wounds, if you want to call them that. So we got 1, 2, 3, little tiny one right there. Actually, another one right here. I have trained shooting from retention, so shooting like this, trying to block a blow and shoot here, and this stuff has torn up the underside of my arm to where I had pieces of the jacket, and hopefully not the lead, but mainly pieces of the jacket stick into me, and I started bleeding. So it can do a little bit of damage, and it's extremely annoying, and poses a serious eye injury risk, and that's no good. You want to try and stay away from that. So I'm really pleased with the results of this prototype barrel. Okay, it's time to showcase the velocity between these two barrels and see if there is a difference, if it's drastic, if there's anything at all. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna do 4 rounds with each barrel. This is the prototype barrel again. Four rounds, prototype barrel. So as you can see, there really wasn't much of a difference at all between the backboard barrel and the stock barrel with the proper amount of rifling. I really wanted to do a video about should you or should you not port your barrel, because you could be bleeding off too much of the powder. So with these barrels, with the porting at the last inch of the barrel, man, the results were inconclusive. There just wasn't enough of a difference to really make an entire video about that. The only one that I would really like to try out would be some of those Glock barrels that have the porting all the way along the top. I think that's excessive, and I do believe it's probably bleeding off a lot of your energy. But with these, you're not going to see a difference really. So I think you should port them, and I think you should get the back bore as well. All right, so people have asked us over this past year where we've been training, and the answer to that is with Paraclete Consulting at the Secure America Now Foundation training facility. And what you see behind us is just one of the bays that they have here. This is a dedicated pistol steel bay, and it's probably one of the more fun ones. You got all kinds of stuff that you can set up. You got barrels that you can place around. You can move the car if you want to do some vehicle work. And they really have anything that you need to take your training to the next level, because owning a gun and ammo is not enough.
If you feel that you've been held restrictive to the range you're shooting at now, or maybe you don't have a range to shoot at now and you're in the South Texas area, Secure America Now has something for everybody. Slick, the owner of the company and Paraclete Training, offers anything from entry-level female pistol all the way to advanced carbine courses. And we actually are going to be offering night vision courses here very, very soon, all the way from entry level to advanced.
So if you're in the South Texas area, I mean, even Houston, Corpus Christi, Austin, the surrounding areas, the Secure America Now training facility is definitely the place that you want to go to take your training to the next level, because shooting on a static range is not training. Shooting at a little piece of paper, not moving, not pushing yourself, not using a timer, not working around vehicles. You need to get that training if you want to prepare yourself and be able to defend yourself and your family. So be sure to check out Secure America Now. I'm going to put a link in the description. Check out what they have to offer for you, because the monthly range membership here is only $35. $35 and you get 24-hour access to this place. There are no down hours. You can come out whenever you want. You get a key card. The place is gated in. You get a key card that will open it up for you, and you can come out and train whenever you feel like it. There are no additional charges. So be sure to check out Secure America Now.